Hello, everybody. Thank you. Today we're talking on what I wish I knew before I got married. I don't know whether you're like me. There were a lot of shockers for me, from my expectation and when I got into marriage, and I've found that having this passion. Thank you everybody for joining us. Having this passion of, some few years ago, I actually used to have like young adults, that we used to talk about, and, they do ask me questions about marriage. Oh, how is it, and I found out that there were a lot of gaps, with it. And this has been like a passion. And that's why I said now that we're in COVID, we are not actually doing events. I feel it's a good time to actually prepare for the marriage, for the home. And that's why we have Chinda with us today. Hello,
Uh,
Mr. Chinda. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be with you today, and I'm excited.
We are glad to have you on the show. Can you
Thank
tell
you.
us a bit about yourself before we go into all the questions and all that today?
Okay, right. Okay, my name is Chinda Chinda. Okay, I'm someone that have first and last name the same, which is very strange but interesting, and that is why I'm different. Okay, and also I'm a life and marriage coach. Now, the reason why I'm so passionate about relationship, about marriage, is because of what I experienced personally growing up. I'm from a polygamous home, and my mother is the third wife. And what I observed there wasn't something exciting because there was no fulfillment, there was no excitement. I see the marriage as the marriage of survival. Okay, you have kids and look after the home, and then I go out and get whatever so that you can cook and look after the family. So I didn't see any fulfillment and excitement there. And then what really touched me more was when my stepsister died. She was very fascinated woman, very passionate, a lawyer, a journalist. I was doing great thing, back in my country in Africa. However, she met a guy, as most people will fall in love, but she didn't do what is right in order to know who she actually is getting married to. But because she was out there and got married, and we were all happy for her and everything, but just within a year into the marriage, she wasn't very comfortable, and she was just secluded and avoiding people altogether. And then we are wondering what was going on. So we've tried to find out. She was missing her functions and different places she was supposed to be. And when we realized that she was, being abused emotionally, financially, sexually, every aspect of abuse you can think about, and
Chinda,
that
hold on. Chinda, hold on a bit. I wanted to hold on that. People
okay,
on Facebook, they're saying the sound is not so clear. Please, could you give us feedback because I don't want us to miss any bit of the story. How is the
okay.
sound now? Yeah.
How is the sound now? Is it better now?
Can you check? Please, if you're on Instagram, I think we are okay on Facebook. I just need to know on Instagram. How is the sound there with you?
I
Okay,
don't.
I'm not getting any response here.
Is it on Facebook that is the problem or
You're on
Instagram?
Instagram. Yeah, on Instagram. So just checking. So I will just wait. We just go on. Um,
Okay.
we just go
Um.
on.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you hear me clearly now?
I can hear you. It's fine. You just need to know that they are okay. If
Oh,
not, we just
okay.
go on. Yeah. So let's go on. Yeah. Tell us about your sister.
Okay. So they say Chinda is clear, but Auntie is not on Instagram. Uh,
Okay.
okay. Okay. So
Thank you.
maybe you need to look at your mic.
Okay. Okay. Just bear with me. Is it better now? It should be better now. Let's
All
let's
right.
go on.
Okay. So in the process of this abuse taking place in her life, she was so distraughted, very bad, feeling really bad and regretful about the whole experience. And that got her so much in the process. Just before she decided that she wanted to leave the relationship, she had a stroke, and she had a stroke because she was affiliated with the government in my state and well prominent. So they flew her to India. They spent, tens of thousands of pounds to try as much as they can to get back her to a normal state. But it wasn't possible. So she was there for a couple of months. And then when she came back home, um, one of these fateful evenings, she was with the family members and all that. um, she passed away. You know,
Um,
yeah, she passed away. That 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 was really, you know, anytime I talk about this, it just make me to relieve, you know, that experience, because she was just an incredible person, even to me myself. But having such a life just cut short because of relationship and because of abuse and everything. I was asking a lot of questions, and I was
yeah.
wondering, you know, why can't relationship be great? You know, God created this thing, but why is it that it's so difficult? I mean, we'll go on us to be together in misery, in pain, emotional. I've just lost my sister because of this thing called marriage. You know, what is
Mm,
this all about? Why can't human beings live together? So I was asking all these questions, you know, my frustration. So I was studying, you know, psychology, medical, Bible. I was studying failed marriages, successful marriages, reading everything I can. I just wanted to have answers. I wanted to know, why can't people live happily even after their marriage, and regardless of their differences and challenges. So in the process of this quest and thinking and praying and observing and looking at different things, that was where I found the hologram. Let me put it that way. You know, the
mm,
light that relationship can be incredible, can be amazing, but there are things you need to do to make it amazing. And
yeah.
unfortunately for her, she did not do most of the things that I know now, which should have saved her life or possibly didn't even allow her to get into the relationship in the first place. But because of her departure, that gave me the passion to help and support marriages today to see them
Mm.
thrive.
Wow, 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 wow. That must be really, really touching from
Thank
your
you.
end. Wow, wow. And I like the bit when you said that it was at the point when she wanted to come out. That's when she actually lost her life. You know, so that's really, really touching. You know, for us here. So
Yeah.
I'm just bear with me. So the other question, you know, going through that, you know, from your experience, you know, with what you have done, you know, with everything that's happened and all that, from your experience, what would you say are the most important things that needs to be known before getting married? You know, because a lot of people do get into it, you know, and just, you know, and really they don't know how to go by it, you know, and what to do and all that. So what would you say from your own experience? What would you say are those important things that we need, that people need to know before marriage, before I start sharing some of the things that were like a shocker to me, you know, in my own view?
You know, marriage is an interesting thing.
Mm,
And it has so many dimensions. There's so many things that can make your marriage work or not. And
yeah.
as a marriage coach and someone that's been dealing with several couples, I've come to
Mm,
realize that knowledge is very important. And when I say knowledge, I'm also talking about understanding who you are as a woman, who you are as a man, and what is your purpose here. Why did God bring you here? Well, why did He give you the opportunity to even want to think to have somebody else in your life? Okay, so the first thing is you need to find out, who are you, right? What am
okay.
I here for? Okay,
Okay.
what exactly am I made for? Because that is so powerful. If you go into marriage, you don't even know who you are, then how are you going to make that work? So if you understand who you are, that is key. And then how will you know who you are if you don't even know God? Because that's, from my perspective, in another area, it's important to know who made you, I mean, why He made you, and then having that relationship is very key. And then some people today, I know that they're called name of God and everything, but they close their eyes in the process of getting married. You know, they see flags and red flags. They say it doesn't matter. I'm going to change this person later. Anyway, I know the way I work things out. But you can't just change an adult. So
Mm,
knowledge is absolutely important before getting married. Now, knowledge about yourself, knowledge of who you are, knowledge about your temperament, your behavior, your weaknesses, your strength, you know, what are your trigger points, how do you manage different situations in your life, and that will check how is your emotional intelligence, you know, how you're able to deal with different things. So if you know that, and then you need to now want to find out, I want to go and get married, I want
mm-hmm,
to spend the rest of my life with someone else, and then
mm-hmm,
you start with this individual. Fine, there are a couple of things you need to find out. All right,
okay.
what's the personality of this person? Like, what's the strength? What's the weaknesses? I used to ask, you know, how this person grew up. where did it come from? What are the things they are exposed to? What are the experiences in their life? Because experiences change you. Experiences can make you begin to act in a particular way. Find out when this person get angry, when he's stressed, what does he do? You can use scenario questions to ask the person, this kind of, how are you going to respond to something like this? How are you going to act in something like this? Find out about who is their friend, where did he grow up? How does he treat the sisters and the girls in his life or his past
mm,
relationships and all that stuff? You need to go deep.
mm,
What most people do today, it's very superficial, right?
mm,
The guy is handsome, he's got six pack, he's got money, he drive BMW, nice cars, he's looking great, the accent is fantastic, and the lady has got great components all over her body, flat tummy, she smiles, pretty face, everything is amazing, and they just look at these ephemeral things. Those things doesn't make marriage work. And that thing is controlled by emotions. These things are controlled by emotions, and because they're controlled by emotions, it's probably not able to help. It's not able to help you become who you are and actually help you to change your life and get ready for the person you want to marry eventually. So
okay.
for me, knowledge is an absolute key if you want to be successful in your relationship, and that start with you first
Okay, so
before
you're
someone else.
saying that the first thing that we need to know, which we need to know before getting married is knowing yourself. But I thought, from my own experience, when looking at it was when you talk about knowledge about yourself, and before I got married, I thought all that was important was knowing the person who I am. And that was important that before, okay, yes, I'm a happy person. I'm going into this marriage. There's something called individuality. He knows himself. I know myself. And
Mhm,
that's all that matters. But you are saying that it's important for us to know ourselves first, even
mhm.
before we go into marriage. So
Yeah.
can you differentiate a bit on that?
I mean, if you smile, that's great. That's amazing. But that's very superficial, right? Because looking into marriage, my coaching those that have been married from my experience, and I see the troubles and the challenges that they are going through. And then I begin to ask myself, I asked them a couple of questions, and I found a lot of gaps in their knowledge, gaps in their understanding. Some of them have been married for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 15 years, but you'll be so amazed a lot of high level of lack of knowledge and ignorance. And when there is ignorance, I'm telling you, problem will breed. You breed a lot of problem in marriage when there is ignorance. And when husband is ignorant, wife is ignorant, then you see all these challenges because they don't know how to handle it. They don't have the techniques, the tools, the strategies, the way they know how to deal with these issues in their relationship. Either when they have a baby, or they don't have a baby, or somebody lost his job, or somebody's not feeling well, or someone acts in a particular way. Somebody don't want to talk now, you want to talk now. Somebody don't want to eat that. You'd be amazed, little things that can trigger a lot of months of conflict, of problems, of trouble. Is because they don't understand their own self. Because your self is actually what will make your relationship successful or not. Think about this. We have different unique personalities, different unique weaknesses and strength. And if you don't know those weaknesses and strength, you'll be amazed some of the things that play out in your relationship, even before you get married. You'll be amazed, like, wow, is that why I'm acting? Is that why he's like that? Is that like this? So you don't know. But knowing that now will help you to frame how you are going to act and behave in the relationship. And that will help both of you to actually discuss in more detail. Look, this happens, this way I behave. This happens, this way I behave. Okay, how are you going to work about it? Because some weaknesses, you can actually overcome some weaknesses. But if you're not even aware of your own weaknesses, if you don't know what trigger you to get angry and scream and shout and hit the door and slam the door, if you're someone that when something happens, you run into the room, you close the door, sit, don't talk to me, and you stay like that 3-4 days, my goodness, that's crazy. Someone else is going to run crazy and mad. But this is your personality. But you not having a knowledge, knowing that when I get upset, I can't stay like that for 3-4 days because I have another human being that want to talk, want to express, want to share. So knowing that about yourself and going deeper with the other person will give you guys some clarity on how to build a better relationship.
So I like that. And for the past 1 week or so on Franomo event,
Yeah.
we've been talking about the effect of temperament because that was like a shocker to me also, like you said, knowing yourself and knowing your temperament. And growing up, we know that, oh, there's choleric, there's phlegmatic, and all that. But what would you say is the impact, of each of those temperaments into to marriage? And just bear with me, Chinda. Hello,
Yeah.
everybody on Instagram. I'm not sure whether the sound is so good, but we are also live on YouTube. So I'm thinking if we all go to YouTube, and the page we're sharing from YouTube is Oshewa-Oyedeji. So you can also, if the sound is not so good, because I'm not sure what's going on. So if the sound is not so good, you can go on to Oshewa-Oyedeji, and was streaming on YouTube there, or come to Franomo event Facebook Live, where, because I don't want you to miss anything today. So I'm just going to end this live on Instagram so that we don't have people missing on beats. So you can join us on Facebook, which is Franomo event, or on YouTube, which is my personal page, which is Sheyi Oshewa-Oyedeji. See you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. So I've just stopped Instagram because I think the sound is
Okay.
not so good. So it's better
All right.
we work on
Okay.
that later.
All right.
Yeah. So tell us about how the temperament, each of those temperaments can affect, the marriage, whether positive or negatively, so that we know, because sometimes we're used to the title. We're used to, oh, I'm choleric, I'm melancholy. For me, like me, my personal self, before I got into marriage, once I'm angry, I lock myself up because I don't want to say the wrong thing. And because I don't want to say the wrong thing, I can be there, a day or two, before I bring myself out and I say, oh, remember you're a sister, remember you're a Christian,
Yeah.
and all that. So what is the impact of each of those temperaments to the marriage, and what's the statistic behind them, behind those statistics?
That's an interesting question because if you know the temperament, strengths, and weaknesses, right? Let's say, for instance, a sanguine. A sanguine is very extroverted,
Okay.
likes to talk, likes to share, brighten the place, and knows how to communicate. And for some reason, ladies, they like sanguines a lot. Now, this person might be married, and then because of his nature, he likes to talk to people and all that. And then why are you always talking to all these people? Why are you always there and all that? She may not be comfortable, but understanding that this is the way this man is, or this way this woman is, you know how to balance this thing and to be in the middle and not to always attacking the person all the time. Do you see what I mean?
Okay.
And then the other one again is you have the melancholic. Melancholic they're perfectionists, all right? They like to make sure that everything is done in a particular way. They organize their houses and all that. And then you have this phlegmatic. Phlegmatic is laid back. It doesn't take the time. It's not very ambitious, all right? Phlegmatic can leave the house to be so scattered for a while. And then you marry the melancholic, and melancholic is really upset. And he's saying, why are you doing this? Why is the house like this? Now, understanding that this is these weaknesses of this person, you know how to support them and how to talk to them to be able to start doing things that will improve their own lives. So knowing your temperament is key and very important. A choleric is very domineering. Choleric is very controlling, right? And then if you have a husband, a wife like that, just know that yes, you're in for some serious controlling situations in your marriage and in your situation. So if they are like that and they like to get things done, a choleric person will come back home from work, still want to work at home, work in the weekend, and it doesn't have much time for the family. Sometimes choleric can only kiss the wife on the wedding day, maybe, and then the next kiss is anniversary. The whole of the time they don't kiss and they don't hold, because they find what's the point of all these things? I mean, what's the need? So anniversary will come like this, they even forget anniversary, they don't even remember the dates. And the other person is saying, this is not fair, you should know my deeds, blah blah blah. So when you know all these things, this thing will help you to plan how you will act in your marriage, your relationship. And before you even get married, you realize these things will begin to show up, because I've seen couples that come to me before they get married, and when I'm doing this, and they will say, wow, this is, yeah, we actually had this problem 2 days ago. It was a big problem. They are not married yet. So it was like an eye opener. And they're like, is that why we've been acting and behaving this way? I said, right, exactly. So
Okay.
they now know that this is so important. And anytime we do that section for pre-marriage couples, it's like you just open a veil. It's like you open someone's eyes and like, wow, this is so
Okay.
real. And they don't know this before. So understanding that will help you to know how to respond to your spouse, how to support them, how to help them, and not to just thinking that they are not serious. And even your conflict resolution as well, when they behave like this, well, this is one of their challenges. We are still working on that. So you might just say, well, this is work in progress. We're going to get there eventually. Not to just pack your bag and leave the marriage. You know what? It's over. It's finished. This is unreconcilable differences. I can't do this anymore. No, it's for you to
Okay, so
understand that they're
so
different.
so Chinda, I'm putting myself forward now. I'm a strictly, and I've known that I'm choleric melancholy.
Okay.
So what would be those things that because if I'd known that, or rather if we know that now, how would we, what would you say is the advantage and is the negative that I need to watch out, because
Okay.
this is all about things I wish I knew, because I
Okay.
knew I was that, but I didn't know, we just, when we talk about temperament, most often we do
Yeah.
that in terms of business when we're working and all that.
Yeah.
We don't really relate it to marriage. So for
Yeah.
somebody like me, putting myself forward, I'm a choleric melancholy. What would be those things I need to watch out in marriage, to be able to, just two or two things, the positive or the negative, and what that impacts, and what, those red flags that I need to watch, that this is you, this is choleric showing up, this is melancholy showing up in mine. What would you say to?
Exactly, exactly. Okay, so I think this is it's quite an important question you've just asked there, because a lot of couples, because they don't understand this aspect of their lives, it could be very challenging. Now let's talk about caloric. A
Okay.
marriage, okay, a caloric person is a doer. They love activities. In fact, when there is no activities, they will create one. I promise you that they will create activities. They just want to be typing something. They want to be calling somebody. They want to be arranging meeting project. They want to be talking. Have you done that? Have you not? They are always project oriented humans, and they love results. Okay, so this is very beautiful. If you have a relationship in a marriage, that a caloric person that want to get a job done, they are out there, they're doing things, they want to make sure that things are done. And sometimes this is a little bit the challenging side, okay? They could easily step on a lot of people's toes, right? They can step on a lot of people's toes. And at the end of the day, they don't really care because they get the results, right? Their own
Mm-hmm.
is results, working, 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 get it done, let's do
Mm-hmm.
this. Because ambitions, they love the awards, the accolades, the praise, the satisfaction, the ambitious, and all that. And then if you have somebody in your life that is phlegmatic is completely opposite of choleric. They are
Mm.
laid back. In fact, sometimes phlegmatic will be wondering, do you rest? Are you all
Mm.
right? Why are you
Mm.
always busy, busy, busy? You're doing all the time. Choleric is thinking of ideas of what to do tomorrow. He's not finished
Mm.
the one he's doing right now. He's already thinking of what to do tomorrow, and he's getting the list out and everything. And the phlegmatic will say, it's all right, but we are just trying to finish this. He said, yeah, but you need to think about more stuff to do. So because you're about to go. So the phlegmatic person now will be wondering, this is too much. This is too
Mm.
much. And then another challenge with the choleric is that when they're trying to help their spouse to get on board or do things and all that, it will get to a point whereby they can't take it anymore. All they do, they just withdraw. Like they
Mm.
just say, you know what, I'm sick and tired. You don't want to change your life. You don't want to transform. You don't want to do activities. You don't want to do the project. You're always laid back, laid back, laid back. So a lot of times they just withdraw. And
Okay.
many times, this is the sad side, and it's very
Mm-hmm.
scary. Based on statistics of those that divorce more, is the choleric people. They are the
Mm.
top because they cannot tolerate. They wonder why people are not always achieving things, doing things. So a lot of them will just tell their spouse, you know what, I can't deal with you. If you don't want to get accolades, you don't want results, you don't want to do great project, okay, stay on your own. I'm gone. So a lot of them based on that. And then in the temperament world, the temperament with the least divorce rate is phlegmatic.
They're easy going.
Look, they don't even like trouble. They don't even like you. Things could be happening when all the other temperaments have already divorced. They are still there, and you're
Mm.
wondering. And when they share the story, you say, "Why? Look at what is happening. Get out of that
Mm.
mind. You can't." You know what they will say? You say, "Listen, I feel for this person. They're having issues. I think they should realize themselves, but give them time. They many people have issues. I don't know what's going on with my husband, my wife. Well, But the coloric is already divorced maybe 3-4 times even. This one is still trying to imitate. What are you doing? You're wasting your life. Move on.
Mm.
Don't worry, it's fine. I will take care of that. So you could see the differences there. And when you know these things about yourself, it will help dynamically to help you to know
That's
how
right.
to handle different situations. Phlegmatic can endure for a very long time. They can manage. They can give their spouses a long rope. A long rope. Why the
Mm.
choleric? Very short rope, very short rope. But it takes the
Okay.
grace of God
Good.
to make it
Thank God because I'm mixed.
happen.
I'm not full choleric, so I'm mixed. So I'm going straight into it. Let's talk about money.
Okay.
Money for a lot of people has been a lot of challenges, and we're like, oh, it's my money. Yeah, I'm like that. It's my money and all that. So do you believe in joint account? Because that's for so many people, has been an issue, and you can't blame them because a lot of people have been beaten very well, putting, their money together, and at the end of the day, they're losing everything. So do you believe in joint account, and would that be, something that you advise people that are just coming in or going into marriage, or people that are there? What's your thoughts on having a joint account, and all the expectation that goes with it?
This is quite an interesting question because it has different dimensions to it.
Okay.
Now, marriage is all about transparency. Marriage, for you to work, should be openness.
Mm,
And marriage require you to be accountable and responsible. Look, marriage is not for boys, it's not for girls, it's not for teenagers. It's a
mm,
man and woman will leave their father and mother and cleave. So you need to be an adult. And part of being an adult is being accountable for everything you do, being
mm,
responsible for your actions. Now,
mm,
based on statistics, money issues is number two of
mhm,
what causes divorce. Number one is unreasonable behavior, irreconcilable differences, whatever they give there, whatever name. Second one is money issues. All right.
mm,
And these money issues has affected a lot of marriages, a lot of relationship because they are not able to manage it properly. Now, let's
mm,
say on a good scenario, these people want to get married, okay? And they properly understood themselves. Everybody know how much are you owing, because if you're coming into marriage, student loan or you have a credit card loan, whatever loan, you need to open it up. Everything needs to be clear and you need to be honest about your debt. In fact, what I
do we
always
need to tell us
advise,
do we need to tell our intending about our
yeah,
debt?
it's not even tell. You need to print your credit report, your credit, why are you hiding? This is
People,
marriage.
can you hear that? Is that
Yeah,
so?
yeah.
So
It's
if we have 4 months or 6 months to get married,
okay.
and he prints out his credit check and it's all negative, what happened? Will I
Okay.
say no?
Okay. The question now is: are you marrying them based on negative credit report or about your future and your plan together? That's the
Yeah, but
question.
for instance, we're talking about joint account. So
Okay.
if this person that is coming in has a zero or a bad credit, and we are putting things together, what's the impact of that? That's a
Okay.
huge
Now,
impact.
okay, for that situation now, because
Okay.
if I put myself also in that shoe at the
Mhm,
beginning, because I had some challenges and all that stuff, couple of debts, we didn't do that because you don't
okay.
want to be associated with all that. So at the
Mm,
beginning, it's not that you don't want to have joint account, it's not that you don't, but joint account is better when both of you are in a better position, if that makes
okay.
sense. Okay,
Okay.
that you're in a
Okay.
better position, but whereby there are too many debts here and there and it's going to affect the other person. Look, if you decide that okay, you want it to be together so that you can be paying it together, working together, it's up to you. But ideally, if you want to look for a way to have a separate joint account, which there's no loan, there's no nothing, that account is just to be accountable of all the money that is coming in. There is no
Mm,
secrecy. All the salary, all the everything is coming in there, and all the direct debits, your own
okay.
direct debit, his own direct debit, everybody, mortgage, everything, zoom
Mm,
out of that particular account. As long as that is happening from that account, it makes it more traceable, it makes it
okay.
more transparent, and you guys can now see where the problems and the challenges are. You see, when you have joint account, it's very hard to hide because the statement will call out. Yeah, if you spend that, why you spend, that's not in the budget, that's not the plan. If you keep doing that, then you are looking for trouble. That's seriously, you are looking for trouble because you're not keeping to the plan, you're not keeping to the budget. So that's the reason why it's good to have a joint account, Now, it's nothing about having also a separate account for other things that you guys have agreed. Remember, the Bible
Mm-hmm.
says, can two work together except they agree? You have to agree. You have to work. Sometimes this thing is very uncomfortable. But what I'm telling you now, very uncomfortable, especially when people have different mindset, different
Mm-hmm.
attitude, different behavior about money, or based on what has happened to them in the past relationships and father, mother, different events and all that. They will be so protective about their money, so protective. And in the process, it's also going to affect their present marriage. So what I would say, based on your discussion and investigation, you can see that, all right, is this possible? Is this something that we can do now or we can do later? It's still part of your discussion. It's not like a hardcore rule that at the beginning it must be a joint
Yeah.
account. No. There
Okay.
could be a lot of reasons there. Maybe you want to buy a house, you want to do something with the other person getting involved. It's going to affect the credit, it's going to stop things. So you investigate everything and see the possibility of you doing that so that there will be no association that will hamper your greater vision and your goal. But when you are
Okay.
not normal and you're fine, it is good to have it so that you can be able, your money is traceable, you're accountable, you're responsible. Each person know what is their what they're supposed to spend at the end of each month. If they have their own £50 or £100 or $50, whatever it is. But openness, transparency is very, very good in relation to your money and planning properly.
Thank you, Chinda. Thank you, everybody that is just joining us. This is Sheyi for no more events. We are on with Chinda, and we're talking about things I wish I knew before I got married. Thank you, and like our page and share and share and share and share because you might
Thank
save somebody's life on this one. And going back on that joint account, because for me, it's all about looking at things you wish that you knew. For me, growing up, we've always found that that the father is always responsible for, in quote, everything.
you. Okay.
And you always go to mommy. I don't know for other people, it might not be real to other people. Everybody is unique. And what mommy gives you is like an extra because you need to. Mommies are easily, they're easy to psych. Mommy
Yes.
are easily to to do the pity face and all that. So you go to daddy first, you collect everything, and you go back to mommy and say, "Oh, is that enough? Give me more and all that." And if it's enough, you just want an extra anyway. Everybody needs an extra.
Mhm.
And on that point, for me, when you go into marriage, who is responsible for the bills? Who is responsible? And there's a lot of argument that, oh, the man is the head, then it should be all the head all the way, in terms of everything. If you are claiming to be the head, then be the head in everything, in finances, in everything. So who should be in charge of the bills? Who should be responsible for the bills? How do we manage that with some of the expectation that we have previously? Oh, that this should take care of everything. And for also the expectation of the lady that says it's my money, or the expectation that we are now getting used to, that we need to now split our money. How do we marry that? How do we
You
do
see,
that?
when you are we get into marriage, okay, or while you're even getting into marriage, it's important to discuss about money. Now, sometimes the one coming into the relationship, somebody is very good with money, okay.
Mm,
One have a saving mindset, another one have an entrepreneur mindset. Let's invest, let's finish the whole money in the bank account. And the other person saying, no, let's keep this part in the bank account. So you can see it's very hard to see two people entering into marriage exactly the same perfect mindset about money, right?
mm,
And then you need to discuss as well who is better in being proactive about bills and calling and making sure that things are done. Let's say, for instance, in my own relationship now, it's not because I'm a man, but I'm very meticulous about documentation. I'm very meticulous about ensuring that we follow rules and all that stuff, and I make sure that I keep to that. So all this thing of calling this person, checking that, making sure that bill is paid, there's any issues or whatever, that lies on me because I'm very good at it and I know how to negotiate and I know how to talk in order to get a good deal. Now that falls on me automatically because I'm good at it. You see what I
okay.
mean? Now there are certain things in the house that was okay, fine. You are going to be responsible for this one. So this
Mm,
is going to be coming out from your this is going to be on your name, okay? Because it's also important in the house that it shouldn't be some people will have their names on some bills, okay, because it's good for your address verification as well in case you need to do a couple of other things. So it will not be nice that one person's name is in everything. That's very
mm,
terrible. So you need to divide that, just thinking ahead that, okay, for mortgage, your name is going to be direct one coming there, or for this or for that, electricity, gas, water, council tax, whatever it is that you guys pay out, make sure that you share it equally. But in terms of who is responsible, that would depend on both of you, knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. Who is better at this? The woman can be in charge of the bills, even in charge of the money, in charge of the saving, in charge of everything, and the man is in charge of something else. Or it could be the other way around. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just understanding where your skills and your
Ah,
abilities are better.
okay.
And then the man, which, like you said, in code, man should be in charge of this, head of this, head of that. Well, some people are head of things and they're making blunders, right? They're making
Mm-hmm.
serious mistakes. And yet they're saying you're ahead, you're ahead. If you're ahead and you're not making the team work, why don't you give it to the person that is not head, that is making it work? This is what I
Mm,
mean. So
yeah.
it's important to understand that difference.
Okay. Okay. Then my other question, we're going to the lovely one. I love this one. And it's the issue of sex. A lot
Okay.
of people don't like talking about it.
All right.
But for some of us growing up, and I'm sure the teenagers and people that are going into, you've read a lot of books. You think when immediately you get married, every time you want to have sex, there's going to be strawberry by the bed. There's going to be honey. We got all those books, that we've read, that we have seen in movies, and all that. So how do we get to talk about sex as an intending couple? And don't forget that we're also Christians. Sometimes we're people of faith.
Yeah.
So how do we, and without arousing any emotions and things like that, how do we get into the issue of talking about sex, as an intending couple and also as a married couple? Because a lot of people avoid that topic in court. So how do we talk about that?
That's so important. And I want to say, like, Hollywood never created sex. Okay.
Mm,
The devil never created sex, and nobody did. God did. Okay. And when God created it, he did not want it to be boring. He did not want it to be miserable. He wanted them to enjoy it. He wanted to have satisfaction to it. Now, in our society, they've made sex to look as if it's a man thing. Okay,
mm,
that is the man thing, and the woman is just there to give the man as much as he wants. And then most people explain it because of high testosterone and all that stuff. The man is aggressive, he wants it 24/7. But also, science have also told us that some women that have more testosterone than some men. Right. That if you
mm,
have a woman that have more testosterone, she would desire more sexual intercourse than you. There is a man.
mm,
Now, you won't see that as a bad thing. You say, how can a woman be in charge of sex in my house? No, it's not like that. It's just the dynamics of the amount of hormones that they have within them. And then it says it's not a one party thing. It's a both people thing. The spouse, both of them need to enjoy it, both of them need to like it, both of them need to want it. And it's not something that is meant just for one person. Like I said, in our world today, most of the time, they shift the enjoyment, the satisfaction, the blessing, the goodies, the advantage, everything to the man. That's not right. That's not right. And you see them sometimes, they express this, the woman, make sure you're giving your man anytime, giving your man anytime. Whether you want, whether you don't want, whether you like it, whether you don't like, just be giving, be giving, be giving, be giving, you giving. Well, that's almost like being a slave, right? You can't even talk, you can't say nothing. I don't want it this way, I want it this time, I don't want it in the morning, I want the evening. So it now becomes that the man is in charge and is in control, and the woman can't say anything. That could be very dangerous in that marriage, that relationship. So for those that are intending to get married, it's important to get this right, okay? Because you are a woman or a man of faith. Now, going into too much detail about it can cause a lot of emotional stuff. So I
mhm.
always tell people to leave that towards the end, because even if anything is aroused or anything wakes up that is sleeping, then you know how to deal with that, because wedding is about to take place, and then you can take yourself to Jamaica, to Dubai, and to Seychelles and
After the
explore.
wedding. Mhm.
Yeah, after the wedding, and explore yourself at the end of, after the wedding. But in discussion, it's important to put the boundaries. Say, look, we're gonna wait until we get married, because we're Christian, we're believers, we're faith people, and that's one. Number two, also, it's good to understand that I hope this person is okay. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
hope your thing works. Okay, not necessarily that you have used it anywhere, but as a man, it's important to know that may have a couple of several erections every single day, in the morning, the night, and all that. So you need to ask these questions, because you don't want to get in there and the thing doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, I mean, that's a very important part of marriage. And there's going to be struggle, there's going to be difficulties and all that stuff. So it's important to know that. And also check the lady as well. Also, I also believe that it's important to check their health status, right? You don't just jump into somebody. That's why it's good to do some tests. All right, you need to do some, some HIV test. You need to do some STDs test. Okay, there's nothing shame there. There's nothing bad about it. You just need to find out, because you also want to protect yourself and know what is happening. And understanding these things are very, very good, so that you don't get in there and you're shocked and you're wondering, oh, how did I get it? How did I get it? This is the only person and all that stuff. So understanding this basis is important. Then for those that are married, okay, if you are married and you're only having sex once a week or once in 2 weeks, that marriage is sexless. That's what we call sexless marriage. Now,
if it's on a calendar.
okay, well, if it's on the calendar, calendar is 5-7 days, isn't it? All right. So calendar is not 21 days in a month. It's 5-7 days, because I'm very good in counting that stuff, right? Okay, so if you count that 5-7 days, okay, that is fine. And then after that time, what happened to the 21 days? Those are incredible days. So you won't say, oh, after calendar, then we're only gonna do another 1 or 2. No, that is sexless. Whether it's for children, whether it's not for children, is sexless. You need to have, an averagely, they are saying, at least 3 to 5 times a week. Look, it's very healthy. It's so good for you. It's a stress reliever. I can start talking about the benefit of this here. We will not even leave this place. It is so powerful for your body, for your life, for your immune system, for your health, couple of calorie burning as well, and so many things like that. But when it's not exciting, somebody will just feel, well, what's the point? I don't want to do this and all that. And sometimes as well, the man want, and then the other woman don't want, or the woman want, the man don't want. The question is, you need to have conversation. You need to discuss, what's the problem? What's the issue? Okay, are you enjoying this thing? Why are you not enjoying this thing? What do you want? What position? Is there anything you want me to know? You need to discuss this thing. And then the woman should not be shy to talk out. Don't be shy to speak and tell your husband, I'm not enjoying this thing. This is not nice because you're not doing it. And some men, because they are too much in a hurry, no foreplay, no touching, no nothing, they just want to do, and then they sleep off, like start snoring. And the woman is just in the desert by herself. Nobody there looking for her husband. The husband has gone back home and is snoring and left her in the desert because she didn't enjoy nothing. So it's good to have a proper discussion, and whatever is the issue, if you need medical help, go and see your GP, see your doctors, and find out what is the problem and see how they can help you. If you find out that in your relationship, the man does not last a lot, or there's an issue with the muscle or whatever, go and seek for help. And then they can prescribe a way, because you can't be in marriage and relationship not enjoying this blessed thing that God has given, which is supposed to be exclusive for marriage.
A question that somebody sent to me yesterday, and the question was, can I be completely truthful with my sexual expectation with my spouse? What will be the strategies for saying that without hurting their feelings?
Okay, you see, I said again, marriage is about intimacy. Intimacy is where you are vulnerable to speak and share anything without fear, without how someone is going to feel. If you have proper conversation, deep, intimate conversation, whereby you guys share anything, discuss anything, you are open to each other. Now, talking about your sexuality and how you feel wouldn't be an issue, because you talk about anything anyway. Now, if you feel that, oh, he's gonna feel a particular way or she's gonna feel a particular way when you share this, then it's important for you to find out when is the best time to have this conversation, because every human being have a time that they are very happy. I'm telling you, even the person that never smile, that never talk, there's a time in that person's life, in a day or in a week, that they are just happy. They're just, maybe they are finished eating, or for the man, maybe they finish having sex, or the woman, you finish cleaning the toilet, clean everywhere, buy her flower, get her something. There is a time in the marriage you can see your spouse is very, very happy. That is the moment you need to be vulnerable. especially when you are involved in the happy mood, when you're involved in making them happy and they're so satisfied, they are chill, they are relaxed, the muscles are not tensed up, they are not tensed up in their face, they are calm.
Mm-hmm.
You can bring this conversation and you say, look,
Mm-hmm.
I'm bringing this thing because, I love you and
Mm-hmm.
I want to be completely honest with you. Please,
Okay.
I don't want you to feel bad about this, in a very tone, vulnerable, respectful voice, not trying to scream or shout or whatever. It's not going to work. Remember, you have found the best time. Or you can
Mm.
also discuss with the spouse, say, look, I would like us to discuss something. It's a very good thing, something really nice. But I want us to discuss it. When is your own best time for us to talk about it? If he
Mm.
comes back from work, he say, let's talk about it. You can see that that's not going to work. I mean, he just came back from work, already issues in the manager, driving, everything comes back, and then you
Mm-hmm.
want to talk. It doesn't work like that. Tell him, don't worry, honey, just eat, relax, and we're going to talk about it. Maybe in the night, we'll go up early or something like that. Find a way to know that, find a way to speak to this person, your spouse, when they are very happy. But converse in a tone that shows that you really care, empathizing. Maybe
Okay.
this person is hurting you, they don't even know they are hurting you, right? Some of
Mm.
them might be deliberate, some of them may not be deliberate. For whatever is the case, be vulnerable and speak in a tone that they will understand that how this thing is serious with you, and then discuss it and then find a way forward.
Thank you, Jenny. I like the way you said be vulnerable, but some people would say and would agree with me that some people have been vulnerable and it's been used against them, when they've come out to be themselves or ask those questions,
Mhm.
and it's been used, either of both party and say, oh, you're wayward, that's why you have all that expectation and all that. So, in terms of being vulnerable, how do you manage, for somebody watching us now, they're like, oh, he's saying be vulnerable, he's saying communicate, he's saying look for the best time. I've done that, I've looked for the best time. I've done all that, but all this has been used against me. What would you tell that person?
Okay, now it's important to know that if you have done all these things and this person continue to behave like that, they are insecure,
Okay.
they have issue, there's a baggage that person is dealing with, and they are not coming forward straight. Because if someone has done everything to be at peace with you, someone has done everything to be open to you, to be honest with you, and yet you are driving the person away, you are doing everything you can to make the person life even more miserable, it's very clear to me that you have a problem, not the person. The person doesn't have a problem, it's you that have a problem. Now, you may not tell the person directly you have a problem, but it's
Mm-hmm.
important to understand that as long as this person have not been able to deal with some baggages of past
Mm.
or baggages in their lives, they won't be able to offer you help. Okay.
Yeah.
How can you offer help when you you need help yourself, and the help
Mm.
you need is a help that is going to help the other person that you're trying to help. So you need to help yourself first by dealing with that baggage. Now, you might be asking me, now, how would this person even know that he needs help? This is one of the biggest challenge, because a lot of couples don't believe that they need help. They don't believe that they have challenges. They don't believe that there are things that they need to work out in their life. I
Mm.
still say the other spouse should be empathic. They
Okay.
are talking, they are acting, they are behaving this way. I'm telling you that they're looking for a way out. They are looking for how to come out of it. It's just that they don't know how. And maybe they've even tried to deal with this thing. This thing is like a demon, like a monster. It keep coming back to haunt them. And
Mm.
then you are the only one they can lash out to. You are the only one they can release that negative energy on
Mm-hmm.
you. And unfortunately, you are with them in their house. So you need to know that this person that is acting strange or didn't want to even respond to you, they have issues that they need to deal with. I believe that you pray, that's number one, and also look for a way to make them realize, not shouting, screaming, name calling, and saying things or reporting them to their father, their mother, their friends, calling everybody. No, you're going to make things worse. You
Okay.
have to take things one step at a time. Start from your vulnerability in that house. You may not say your own problem, but look for a way to support that person, because who wouldn't want to be heard? Who wouldn't want to be supported? That person that is acting and behaving this way, if you do whatever you can to support them, look for a way to care for them, to show them that you're very compassionate and empathic, they will melt. They will just wonder, why are you like this? Why are you, with everything I've done to you, with it I've said to you? Look, I can tell you, it takes God's grace not to allow your flesh to go forward, just to self-deny yourself of some things in order to save your marriage. It takes a lot of effort from your side.
I like that. It takes a lot of effort on your side,
Yeah.
not always looking at the other, at the other person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody asked a question before we leave this point of sex and all that.
Okay.
There's a question here that we have said, how do we manage? And I'm sure that this person is a matured single. He said,
Okay.
how do we manage boundaries, both physically and messaging? And the person said, because I told them to expatiate, and the person was saying that, okay, when somebody tells you, I love you and all that, and because we are people of faith, how do you manage that boundaries of, the person is sending a text and you want to play along and ask those questions, and also boundaries, both physical boundaries and
Mhm.
also messages, and things like that. How do you manage that boundaries?
Okay, this is quite interesting question, because a lot of people getting into marriage are getting themselves into more trouble over and over again, because they don't know how to manage some boundaries, and also when to stand up for their values and principles. Now, it's important to know, if you want to get married, you need to understand your own principles. What do you believe? What is your values? What is your principles? Because every human being is built based on value. Now, your value might be bad values, like a value is supposed to be something positive, but unfortunately, there are things that some people hold so dearly, but it's negative, it's terrible, and they hold it dearly. So if you know the values you have, your worth, right, and the principles you have, when somebody comes to you, say, oh, I love you, a stranger or somebody in the church or somewhere keep using that word, I love you. The question is, this person saying this thing, do they even understand the meaning of I love you? Do they know what it means to love a woman? I mean, how many books have you read to love me? Do you know how to manage yourself before you love me? So
Mm,
you can't just tell me you love me just because I'm beautiful, just because I know how to sing. My body is great, and you just love the shape of my whatever, and you just say, I love you. Now, that is lost. That is not love, that is lost. They are reacting based on your whatever you've got. They are reacting based on who you are, not exactly because they really love you. So if somebody is texting you, I love you, I want to be with you, you're more than the sun, you're more than the moon, you came to, you're this and that, just tell the person, listen, I don't understand what you mean by all these statements, but try to be firm. One thing with people in a relationship, they are scared to be firm
mm,
when things like this happen, because you're wondering, oh, they might think I'm rude, they might think I'm not respectful, they might think I'm not social. No, it's not like that. There is time for everything. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 say there is time for everything. There is time to tell me I love you. There's time to tell me this and that and that. But you can't just come here and just tell me you love me. Because mostly, especially the ladies, when you tell them stuff like that, it get into their head. It's they find themselves, okay, you love me, I feel it. Oh my goodness. And then they can't sleep, and they're going to work the next day. This guy will talk to them till about 12, 1 a.m. And then say, sweet love, bye. Are you kidding me? Seriously? He's just playing your mind. He's just
mm.
manipulating your emotions. And before you realize it, it becomes dangerous. That is based on testing. Now, what about physical one? If you want to prevent yourself from getting into trouble, look, don't be in a place that is dark, or in a place that is both of you only exclusive.
How
Dangerous.
about how about if I say I can manage my emotion? I'm a big girl.
Okay.
I'm a big girl. I'm a
All
matured
right.
single. And things like that. How do you manage that?
All
As
right.
the
Okay.
mature, it's okay for you to tell maybe somebody that is still maybe early, but I'm a matured single. I'm almost 30 something. I'm almost and you're telling me don't be dark. You don't go to a place. How do
All
you
right.
handle that?
See, is the question I will ask that person is, what is your principle?
Okay.
The principle. Do you understand the principle of distance? Look at
Mm,
Joseph. They even cut his clothes. He ran from that woman. He said, he that looketh upon a woman and lust in his heart has already committed. And now you are getting close. Because one thing with natural human emotion is, even when you say emotion, stop, don't do anything, I can control you, I hold you down. And then you are talking to this person. You go to eat with this person, you go watch movie with this person, you talk to this person, you go out together, they drive you in the car and everything. Listen, even if you are so strong and powerful, the emotions will start getting soft and soft and soft. Trust me, it will not be too long. He's not touched you, he's gonna try to touch you. He's gonna say, hey, what are you doing? You just touch your back. You say it's just back. Hold on, it's a process. It takes time.
You're going
It's
to the
only,
movies.
yes, yes. It's only the rapist that will just come and grab you and wanna sleep with you and do all. No. But now we have a lot of chameleon men. They're also in the church. I'm sorry, they're also in the church, right? They dress like Christians, they dress like this, and then they just come gently and gently. When they can't control themselves, when you tell them, sorry, I don't want you to call me by 10, and then they keep calling you around about 12 midnight. What you can see that this person don't have a principle. This person is not even respecting your own boundaries. And then the guest is gonna laugh. Oh, James, I told you not to call me. I was sleeping. Oh, what's that supposed to mean? I mean, come on, man, baby, I love you. I can't sleep. That's what I'm calling you. Okay, how are you? Oh, I miss you so much. Your eyes, your whatever. This 2 a.m. And you told him not to call you. And then he's doing this now. He's even taking you for granted. That's very clear. So he can't even keep to some boundaries. You understand what I'm saying? So with time, these things will graduate. We graduate. And before you know it, this is very powerful. It's a human thing. Put a man, there was an experiment they did some time ago. They put a man and a woman that don't know each other. They've never seen each other before in the same room. They were all clothed and everything. And they just make sure that there's food to eat there. There's whatever. They don't know anybody. They sleep in separate rooms. Do you know that it wasn't too long? They moved to one room. Why? Because it's a human thing. You be attracted to each other, even though you're strong and you are powerful. And that's what God is saying that we should avoid. So don't say, I'm strong, I'm this and that. Well, just Google it. Statistics are everywhere that you can become so strong when it comes to man and a woman thing. The best thing is prevention is better than cure. So why do you want to just put yourself in a position whereby you claim that nothing's going to happen to me? I think Proverbs even say it. Proverbs said, can a man take fire or hot coal in his bosom and shall not be burnt? How will he just assume that you will not be burnt just because you are not burnt on Tuesday, you're not burnt on Saturday, and then you repeat the circle, you repeat the circle? Hey, just hold on. The hands, the eyes, things are going to happen, and you're like, what? I never believed this is going to happen to me. So please maintain your principle, maintain your boundary, and for you to know that men respect you is when they keep to your boundaries, not breaking your boundaries all the time just because they say, I love you. That's a sign.
And it's vice versa. To me, it's vice versa,
That's
both for the
correct.
man and both for the woman, because some men are out there that they can set those boundaries, but the ladies will not allow them. So it's both, it's both
Yeah.
on both sides. So the next question that I have here is, how can you keep your marriage, how did the person put it? How can you keep your marriage still, keep the fire on, having your marriage in love? Is there any concept? Do you believe in the concept that men are not romantic and women are romantic?
Because I'm Mr. Romantic myself, you see. So, so that is, yeah. So absolutely, So what now? Honestly, romance is the question is, what do you deem as romance? Okay, what is romance, right? And there's so many ways you can define this. There's so many ways you can quantify this. Now, for my wife, washing plate is romantic, right?
Okay.
Cooking for her is romantic. Mopping the floor is romantic. Okay, mowing the grass is romantic. Going for grocery is romantic. You see what I mean? Cleaning the toilets is romantic. Okay, going out ironing her clothes is romantic. Buying her clothes is romantic. You see what I mean? Praying with her is romantic. When she has something to say and I'm available to listen, not to coach her, just listen. It's romantic. So the question is, what do you find romantic? And some of this thing I'm saying now is something that will not take anything from a man to do. You see what I mean?
Okay.
It will not take anything from a woman to do. But the question is, what will make your wife or your husband life a bit easier? Because both of you are together, both of you are one. So when you say romantic, helping, supporting, being compassionate, listening is romantic, absolutely romantic. Just listening to their concerns, their challenges, their difficulties, just listen and listen and listen is very, very romantic. And it's also therapeutic for the
Mm.
person talking, because they want to
Mm.
take something off their chest, they want to release something, and you are shutting them from speaking. That is anti-romantic. If your man or your husband or your wife is not able to express themselves in your marriage, that is anti-romantic, because they're not able to speak and voice their feelings and their concern to you genuinely, without you
Mm-hmm.
judging them, criticizing them, condemning them, raining fire upon them, shutting the door against them, and saying all that. That is anti-romantic. So being romantic is measurable, yeah, it's tangible, and that will help your relationship to thrive. Romanticism, where some people think it, oh, let's go on holiday in Dubai, stay in 7-star hotel, let's go in Seychelles and stay there for 40 days and 40 nights, let's buy Range Rover, Lamborghini, let's no, yeah, if you have
That's
money,
part of it. That's
yeah,
part of it.
it's okay. Yeah, it's part of it. But how many times do you buy Lamborghini in a year? How many times do you go to
Mm.
Seychelles in a year? How many times do you go to Dubai in a year, in New York and Jamaica in a year? There are the rest of the days and weeks and months you spend more time together. All right. How many birthdays do you have? You have just one
Mm.
birthday in a year. How many anniversary do you have? You have only one anniversary in a year. So are you going to say you're only going to do these things only when you have these specific dates? Yeah, okay. But what about day to day? So let me tell you how I define romance in my house. Like I've just said before, the way I see romance is to be romantic every day in my house. I need to make the life of my wife easy. That is the biggest romance for me. How do I do that? I need to support domestically. I need to be there for her, to hear me, for her to talk to me, for her to speak to me, to share anything with me, to go take a walk. Now we are in lockdown. We take a lot of walk together. We're just doing this video. They're waiting for me. When we're done, we're out for work again, right? She want me to hold her hands, and again, she likes hug. That is a big thing for her. Sometimes you will just come and say, I came to hug you. And then I say, me too, I am waiting for you to hug me. So we just hug each other. Sometimes we are hugging, I want to talk. She will say, don't speak, just hug. You see, I'm learning. Hallelujah. You don't want me to talk. And we just hug. You just put her head here, and I will hug. We just very nice, really cool. And sometimes we do this, she will just come and say, just look at my eyes. I look at your eyes. Let's see who is going to blink first. We just want to go
Oh,
into our souls, and we're just looking and looking. Before you know, we bust out laughing. Now, that is what? Romantic. And also, a lot of times we take shower together. Sometimes I give her shower and she give me shower. I rub her cream. I choose her clothes for her. Even the underwears as well. I do all that. That is being romantic. I go
oh, okay.
to what do you call it? Is it Ansumas? Ansumas, yes. Ansumas, this lovely lingerie shop, and I buy different colors, different matching, different nightwears and everything. And sometimes when I'm coming back, I say, please get the green one or the red one combination, wherever I'm coming, be upstairs and all that. For me, that's romantic. You see what I mean? So we do all that to one another to support each other. What about romantic? Massaging is romantic. Yeah, you just get a plain white, towel on the bed, and just lie down, massage the back and everywhere. Make sure that remove all the stress and tension. That is romantic. That is romantic. So when you say romance, I don't know, it's like very big word, like you can't reach it. But the
Mm.
day-to-day stuff is romantic. The wife is there, say, please, can you help me make me tea? It's romantic. Please, can you cook the spaghetti? It's romantic. That's
Mm.
romance for you, right? Can we stay outside for a bit, just have some chill and just talk? And that's being romantic. So you
But Chinda,
yes,
now, for somebody listening, especially now we're, like you said, we're in lockdown.
yeah.
Then we're also in the week of mental health week, and somebody out there may be looking at you that, oh yes, he's lucky. Maybe that's why he has all that. Okay, maybe using maybe another person. So, oh, I've told my partner, please give me a massage, and like, don't you have something to do and things like that. For those kind of people that are out there, because it's easy for you to give us the that that's how it's supposed to be and all that, but there are 1,001 people, I'm sure, out there that in this lockdown is not beneficial to them,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
because they don't have all the picture you're painting now at the moment.
mm-hmm.
How do we help them? Because it's not, it's more, is for both party, for either the man or either the woman. Maybe they, okay, now we've had Chinda said, oh, go home, then you go home and tell your husband, oh, I just had Chinda say you should give me a massage, you should cook for me and all that. How do we manage, in practicality? Because there are a lot of people out there that they are going through marital problem. They can't say it, they have to keep the face up. They have caused them depression, mental health issues. How do we deal with this situation?
I want to say I'm really sorry for anyone and those going through really hard time in this period. I'm grateful to God that this period has been very amazing for me. Honestly, it's been very great. Now, this is Mental Health Week. It's important to know that we all go through stress and we all go through different challenges. Now, unfortunately, some couples are understanding, some aren't. Let's be
Mm,
practical about it. Some aren't. Now, if you're living with a couple with a spouse that is not understanding, and it's almost like being in that house, it's like death sentence. You're so scared to death. And sometimes a lot of things are happening there that is unacceptable. If your life is at threat, if you're being threatened life wise, you can't keep quiet. Honestly, I mean, there's help out there. All right, you need to call. All right, you can't just stay there and say, oh, because I'm praying, you're going to die. They're going to just die. So it's
mm,
important for you to seek for any help you can get. You go online, there are helps you can get there, and there are books, there are organizations that can support you. Don't die in silence, because silence has killed so many spouses and so many wives, so many husbands in their marriages, just because they don't want to speak up, they don't want to talk. Now, it's important to also know if you're in an environment whereby, because one of the ways to deal with mental challenges is talking. Like when you talk and somebody listen to you, is like heaven to you. It's just amazing. Like somebody's not judging you or criticizing you or condemning you, even though maybe some things you're doing is bad, but you just want somebody to you just want to speak out. You want to say something. Now, if the one at home is not helping out, is when you try to talk, he doesn't want to listen and all that stuff. It's important to have, and I believe you have friends, okay? You have friends. If you can call somebody on the phone, right? You may not necessarily begin to talk about your relationship or whatever, but just tell them how you are feeling. What advice can they give you? Speak, call people. There's an organization you could call the Samaritan. They're just listening ears. They're going to
mm,
listen to you for hours. Just talk for hours, because talking is part of healing mentally. Because if you're just silent about your problem, you say, I'm going to do it by myself, I'm going to do it by myself. No, you can't do it by yourself. Think about when you were born. You were in a woman's womb. You were looked after in the womb. When you were born, there were nurses, there were midwives, they looked after you. And after that, you've been looked after up to this point. So what do you just think that, oh, I can do all things by myself? The Bible says
mm,
two is better than one. So if you just assume that, oh no, I can do all things by myself, it's going to cause more challenges and more
mm,
difficulties for you. So look for some support groups, okay? Sincere support groups, confident, those that you trust, that you can confide in. And again, try to get out of the house. Now, if getting out of the house, somebody want to kill you, then you need to call the police, right? You need to call someone to come and rescue you, because you don't want to die there. But if it's not like that, if the person don't want to take a walk, go out and take a walk, right? Just go to the field, go around. Now they've told us to do exercise as much as possible as we can. Then go out, just take a walk. If you don't want to run, just take a walk, get some fresh air, see buildings, see the birds, see the trees, get that thing off your head. And that will also help you to start, working on your mind and whatever is going through, to clear yourself. Now, somebody says sometimes when you go out there, You can vocalize, you can speak out. Now, it's
Mhm.
not that you are crazy. You're not crazy for anything, right? You just go somewhere and you just want to share something. It's like practicing for presentation. Like when you're
Mhm.
practicing for presentation in the mirror, you just go out there and just say, you can even speak to God, right? You can speak to God just over there and say, God, just the way I'm feeling. I've been going through this. You've been going through this. I don't know what you think about this, because this is really bothering me. And I tried to talk about this to my husband, to my wife. They didn't want to listen, and it really hurts me. And I've been thinking about how to deal with this. I've been thinking about what to do. I'm just fed up. God, what do you think? I don't send me help. Like literally, you can talk like this. You're not crazy, okay? You're speaking to your maker. It's in the bush. It's in the trees. It's everywhere. You can just talk to him. You don't need to close your eye. Open your eyes and talk. If he appears there, praise God for you. But if he doesn't appear, he's listening. Speak something out. Get yourself thinking again. And then trust what you say can as well. Drink water, take some rest, sleep on time. Do whatever you can to work on your mental state. Otherwise, it will just get to a point whereby you're completely broken down.
Okay.
And then also speak to your spouse about it if they are able to hear and discuss things and see how you can make better progress.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for everybody watching us. It's really been a good time with Chinda. I always enjoy every time when we talk, and but that's why I had to bring him on this show, because I know a lot of people that he has helped out there, a lot of people that we have referred to him that has gotten a lot of help, with him. And now talking about mental health and all that, let's go into conflict resolution. I know we're a little bit over time, a little bit. Let's go into conflict resolution quickly, and impact of conflict resolution with communication and all that. So what do you have to say, how do we undo and resolve conflict resolution? Because it's a lot, and we need to address it, especially now that we are stuck with each other at home. How do we practically, not theory wise, how do we practically undo conflict resolution?
Okay. Whenever a conflict happens, someone may be upset, someone may be angry, someone may be moody, someone will not want
Mm-hmm.
to smile. Conflict causes hurt. 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 Hurt is in different degrees and different levels. Some hurt is intense, some hurt is soft, but hurt is hot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's think about husband and wife that have conflict, disagreement over money, disagreement over children, disagreement over training, disagreement over food, disagreement over different things. Okay, because
Mm-hmm.
what causes conflict is humans. Humans causes conflict, which is wife and the husband, they cause conflict. All right. Conflict does not come and fall from heaven and just fall to your marriage and say, I am conflict. I arrived yesterday and it was a long journey coming from heaven. I am here
Mm-hmm.
now. I am a conflict. No, conflict is caused by us. It's caused by us. And conflict comes based on the way we think, different views, different perspectives, different understanding, different educational background, different upbringing. You're just being a woman, you have your own conflict to deal with.
Already.
Being a man, have your own conflict to deal with. So just being yourself, there is conflict that will arise from yourself, because not all the time your husband will agree with you. Not all the time your wife will agree with you. So conflict is normal in relationship. Let's not think that conflict is a bad thing. In fact,
Okay.
conflict can make your relationship work. Honestly, conflict can make your relationship work, because it will uncover a lot of things that you guys have been avoiding, and it will help you to work together. If you are honest to yourself and being prayerful, you will see how conflict can build your marriage. Now, how do we deal with conflict when it happens? I've just given you a background. Conflict happened because me and you have different dimensions in our lives. Now, when we now have this conflict, first, this is the man, this is the woman, yeah? And this is conflict. So let's assume, okay, this is conflict, okay? And then the man, you see here,
Yeah.
the conflict is in the middle, and that's the man and the woman, yeah? The man and the woman is there. And if this is the conflict, man and woman is there, and they are only focusing, instead of focusing on the conflict, they are focusing on themselves. They drop the conflict and they begin to blame each other. It's your fault. This is your behavior, your father, your mother. You resemble your mother. This is how you acted. I told you because you don't have degree. I have PhD. You have undergrad. See the distance of knowledge, my exposure. You've not even traveled to America. I've traveled to America. I saw things. You are not very exposed. The way you behave. Oh my goodness. They will attack each other. They will finish each other. They will rake each other. They will destroy each other. And yet the conflict is just there. The conflict is just looking at them fighting each other. Anytime conflict happens, I want you to extract the conflict. This is husband and wife. Keep conflict one side. Come together and ask yourself, what happened? What caused this conflict? How did this conflict came about? How did we not see this conflict? What triggered this conflict? What should we do with this conflict? When has this conflict happened before? How did we act when it happened? What did I say when it happened? Do you see? You now go into problem-solving mode, not attacking mode. You see now? So when it happens like that, if you don't want to talk about it immediately, just okay, fine, we'll talk about this later. Find a time. Conflict, to resolve conflict first. You need to stick together as husband and wife. And when you look at the conflict, maybe somebody spend more money than the other. The person spend more money than the other. All right, okay. Oh, the money has been spent, and that money was supposed to be used for rent or used for pay the children school fees or whatever. And something has just happened. 2,000 pounds is gone there. And obviously, both of you are going to be mad. Like one person is going to be mad and upset. So what's going to happen is, okay, you just saw that. Okay, why did this happen? Why did you even do it? Don't call them big-headed person. Don't call them they are foolish. Don't begin to call them names. No. Everything that happened in your marriage, good or bad, there's a trigger. You need to understand this. Whether it's good thing, whether it's bad thing, there is a trigger that caused that thing. It could be human trigger, it could be physical trigger, emotional trigger, mental trigger, psychological trigger. There is a trigger that caused that thing. So focus on the trigger, not on the person. Focus on the trigger. Oh, okay, the person say, yeah, because I saw this thing, I wanted to buy it for the kitchen. And I thought, you can see they wanted to buy something that you don't need, but they need. You see? And now the thing begin to cause problem. And I said, why did you buy it? I mean, but we don't need it. We already told you that this money is for the children's school fees. What are we going to do now? Look at what you have caused. Calm down. Now, when you understand that this thing is happening over and over again, say, look, we need to address this because this thing is causing problem in a very calm tone. Don't attack them. We are going to resolve the problem, all right? And when that happens in a tone and quiet place, if you guys are talking, shouting, screaming, whatever, children are there, all this up, no, don't do it. Just stop. Just walk away. Go and calm your head. Go and take a walk. Go and speak to God in the bush that he has spent another 2,000. God again somewhere. Get yourself clear. And then later, come back and calm down. And don't say, oh, because of this has happened, and you guys have already planned to have sex that night and everything. I say this, I will punish you tonight. This thing you have done, I'm really upset with you. And then you are defrauding the other person because of that. No, there's a problem. Okay, let's calm down. Let's go. Let's resolve this. Let's focus on what we're doing. We're gonna come back to this. Don't push it under the carpet. All right. Find out why did it happen? When did it happen? What triggered it? How? That is problem-solving mode. Then if you resolve that, you know that you have resolved that. You are not fighting your husband. Your husband loves you. Your wife loves you. Whatever has happened in your marriage, whether it's good or bad, there is a trigger for everything. And there is a reason. It could be a bad reason. It could be good reason. There's a value behind it, good or bad. Somebody cannot just do something because they just want to do something. There is something that caused them to do that thing. That is what we need to work on, not the individual by fighting one another.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Chinda Chinda. It's been a lovely, lovely time with you as usual. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. What we say at Franomo event, we plan your event, but most importantly, we make sure we put in everything that it takes to make your marriage work because we believe that all marriages can work. We
Yep.
can, if we have the right strategies, or no matter how difficult it may be, if you know the answers to the key, just like with conflict resolution that you were talking, there was something that I learned, you
Mhm.
know and it was, if at that point you cannot talk, you can write, both of you can go away and write what the issue is and come back and address it.
Mhm.
So if we have the right strategy for marriages, a lot of things that we put in quote, apart from domestic violence and all that, like we have said before, we can make it work if we learn how to do it, if we learn the such strategies, we can make it work, because a lot of people don't want to learn, and because you don't want to learn, because we don't go out to seek for knowledge, definitely when knowledge, there's a gap in knowledge, it will affect everything. I'm really glad for having you. Chinda is,
Thank
like I said, is so amazing having you, and it's a good time, that now that everybody's in lockdown and everything, that we talk about this issue. This is a program that we're going to be doing monthly, and for anyone that is watching us and you want to, as you can see, we don't faff around. We talk practical stuff. There's some things, I can see somebody said, he said, oh, let me show you. He said, it's 18, it's 18 and above. So what that means is we don't faff around. We talk about real issue. There's a Zoom call that we are planning in June, first week of June. I think 7th. We've not decided.
you.
If you would like to be part of this Zoom call, where we ask practical questions, we talk about practical things, because there's so much gap that we need to cover. There's enough out there that a lot of people are saying, there are some stages and some people that are believing now is not even worth me marrying anymore. A lot
Mhm.
of people have come from distressed home, dysfunctional home, that they don't believe in that thing called marriage. And
Mhm.
we're here
Mhm.
telling you that it can work. We can
Yeah.
make it work. Not by what we know, not by knowledge and by God. We can make it
Yes.
work. It's not enough spending a lot of money on your wedding day and few months afterwards, everything is all in, it's not working. We can do both together. Have a 1 year plan of how you would learn how your marriage will work. And in addition, also plan for your beautiful day, which is what we do for all our bride and group out there. So
Mhm.
next month in June, we'll communicate the dates. If you're out there and you want to talk to somebody, whether you're an intending couple or a matured single or a married person, that you think you want an atmosphere, we are strictly confidential, and that's why it's going to be a private Zoom call. And you don't want a lot of people. There are things that you don't want to talk about people around you.
Yeah.
Please send me a DM. We
Yeah.
would communicate that date to them, because it's going to be a very, very close group. And when we talk real issues, people are already sending us questions already, and we are putting that together. People are already telling us what they need us to address. So if you're such and you're watching us, please reach out to us
Yeah.
and let us know, so that you don't miss out on this great Zoom call that we're doing. It's going to be practical. It's going to be a real talk. It's going to be things that you wouldn't expect that we're talking about. You would talk. So, Mr. Chinda, on the final note, how can we find you? What are your products? Tell us about it before we round the show up.
Okay, I mean, you can find me on Facebook as Chinda Chinda, and then that's my profile. Then you can also join my Married Life Management group as well. And then also my Married Life public page is also there as well, where I share a lot of content, do some live, and also get some guests as well to share and discuss, just like we've done today. And then I also have an amazing book here, which is called What Can I Do to Make My Marriage Work? All right.
Yeah.
So, what can I do to make my marriage work? Now, I told you guys about my story and the key things that I discovered in trying to answer those questions about my stepsister that passed away and all that. That you have a lot of them in that place. And as you follow me on Instagram as well as Married Life Management underscore, okay, Married Life Management underscore on Instagram, that I also do a lot of content there as well. I have a YouTube channel, Married Life TV, as well on YouTube. It's also a place of education and learning. So all these informations I'm providing is just to help people understand that marriage can work if you put in the work and put in the effort as well. And then I also have a course that'll be coming live, I think, by the end of this month. It's going to be incredible course, and I can tell you that. But I will let you guys know. And I was going to tell Sheyi, my host today, when it comes out, to be able to share with her audience, and hopefully we'll get people, having an amazing relationship.
Wow. Thank you. I must tell you, Chinda is somebody that I work with, is somebody that I refer to people to, and I've seen amazing, amazing, amazing work. So if you're out there as an intending couple, if you're out there as a married person that you want somebody to work with or talk to, please reach out to him. He's there, he can help. We are here as Phenomenal. You know me, my name is Shay. I'm a transformational coach. I do what I do to help humanity. That's all about giving value. So we at Franomo Event, we plan marriages and we plan events and we plan marriages. And please watch out for a lot of interesting things that we do. I also do Finding Purpose with Shay, where we bring in people,
Mm,
to talk about real issue. The aim of all this is to let you know there's nothing that you are going through that there is no help for.
yeah.
There's help for everything. Don't suffer alone. Don't be there by yourself alone. There's so much help out there. Please reach out to us. We can help you, we can direct you, and please contact us at any point in time, because that's all what we do. We give value, we help people, and we reach out and we love people. That's what I do. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Please watch out for our page. If you need anything, please DM me. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a blessed day. Thank you so
Yes.
much,
Thank you.
Mr. Chinda. Thank you for
Thank you so
coming on our show. We're really, really grateful, and
Thank you.
we'll keep touch and we'll do this every month and ask specific questions as we do. Thank you so much
Fantastic.
for everybody for joining us. Thank you.
Take care.
It's
Bye.
bye from me. Thank you.